Greetings from London. This is Maryum, Sharif, and welcome to the Star Moguls podcast. And I'm joined by my guest, Khadija Usman. We are talking about reflections of the year. Welcome, Khadija.
Hi, Maryum. Thank you so much for having me here today.
So, looking back
Mm.
on 2023, we look at the significance of the year and looking at some of the highlights, some of the things that we can improve on. And I thought it would be a great place to share.
Yes, definitely. So it's been quite a year on many fronts. Where would you like me to start? On a
We'll start at the
personal
beginning.
front?
Start at the beginning.
Yeah.
What do you think of the year? Like, how did it start off for you? And what are the learnings of the year? I think that's what I mean. I always think about two things when I think about reflection.
Hmm.
I think about this is what my father taught me: the lessons and the
Hmm.
blessings. Right. So I only divide it into two. So how do I look at it? I'm looking at what are the things that I kind of achieved, or the things that gave me energy that enhanced my life, and then I look at the
Hmm.
things that I probably need to improve on, or things that I could rectify, or change or learn about myself. I think this is a great place to also encourage people to reflect about the
Absolutely.
year and themselves. And I feel when when I'm learning, as because I love learning. I'm a forever student, and as we all are, we're coaches, a teacher, but a forever student. I feel like when I'm learning, I'm actually learning so much about my own self that
Hmm.
that is what excites me more, that my own potential. So a great reflection for people also to have about their own lives. So share some highlights of the year.
Yes, so we started 2023 on a very good note with our summit. That was our first summit through my platform, Grid Coaches, which you know is a community of wonderful coaches from around the
And
world.
actually, that's where we connected.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we had some really high profile guests as well.
Yeah.
So it started on a great note.
Yeah.
And the previous year had been quite rough for me, to be honest, at a personal level, because
Mm.
we were going through some hard times financially. And I
Okay.
was hopeful this year, and it was going just great when towards the end of the year I got a really big shocker, and something went really wrong.
Okay.
So that taught me a lesson for
Yeah.
this year, which is
Yeah.
like my key takeaway for 2023.
Right.
And what happened was, like, we again got hit financially. And this time I just couldn't take it. Like, it was
Right.
like the final straw, the nail in the coffin kind of thing.
Mm.
And one of my mentors said something to me. He said that, Khatija, you should never think it's never going to happen again. Just because something really bad has happened, don't tell yourself that it's never going to happen again, because then obviously when we get hit again, we would
Yeah.
take it as a surprise. So he said perhaps you should try getting used to the thing.
I like
uh,
that.
bec-
Yeah, yeah. Because
yeah,
because you think that life just happens once, but life is continual and it can
yeah,
repeat, of course. Repeat
exactly.
until you learn the lesson, or repeat and maybe there's a learning from it as well.
Yes. So life keeps redefining rock bottom.
Yeah.
This was my lesson for 2023. It keeps
Yeah.
redefining. And when I thought of that, it sort of redefined resilience for me as well. That, resilience is not just about getting hit once and getting back up. It's about getting it again and again,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
continuing to get up.
I think failure is so important in your success journey, or in life in
Hmm.
general, because it's those poignant moments that are life changing, where you make those decisions, where you learn, where you build your character.
Yeah.
So kind of, I think you have to. If you want to be successful, you have to fail, and you have to
Yeah.
fail sometimes destructively,
Multiple
sometimes
times,
painfully.
right?
And actually, it is only when you destroy that identity of the past that you're able to build the
Yes.
future. You have to destroy the old to build the new.
Last Saturday, we had a session on deep transformation, and that's something quite similar to what you just said,
Yeah.
and I thought, what a great end to the year. One of the coaches who was delivering the session, she showed us a whole video
Mhm.
on this transformation of the caterpillar into the butterfly.
Yeah.
So, like giving it as an analogy
Yeah.
that the caterpillar does not know that it's dying, and there's an imaginal cell. That cell is like the cell of possibilities. So
Right.
when one such cell emerges, the caterpillar system immune system fights it, and then again a few cells emerge, and it continues to fight till it totally dies. So yes, it's the complete death for a new you to emerge.
Yeah.
So I
Absolutely.
thought that was really deep.
I think when you're changing chapters in life, you can only move forward when you have
Mm,
totally put that full stop on the last chapter and then turn that page. Because when you keep on looking back, you have what you can never really jump into the future, right? Because you're always looking back, and that stops
mm,
energy, that stops growth,
mm,
that
mm.
your vision, your eyes are something that I heard. Your eyes are in front of your face because you have to look forward. You're not looking backwards. And I just thought that was a great one.
Yeah, definitely.
You always have to style up for the next year. When you level up, you style up. And you
Mm,
have to create this new identity. Something that I always do is that in order to change behavior, you have to change
mm.
identity. And in order
Yeah.
to change identity, um, the inner world that we have to change our thoughts and beliefs and patterns sometimes take time. But changing the outside, which I do famously within an hour, can really transform. And that can give you
Mm,
that dopamine hit. And that changes your identity immediately. And so it is so important to look the part. That's why it's, you know, dress for
mm.
success, because you're actually
Yes.
creating that new identity for yourself. You're stepping into
Mm.
that new role, that new person, that new version of you.
I love that, Maryam, actually, because this was something I was done, and I was discussing with in a coaching session with
Yeah.
somebody, that it's a lot of times where I've been really close to success, and
Yeah.
it's like I've literally taken a U-turn
Oh,
because I felt I did not like it was not for me. I could not step into that identity. And now
yeah.
that when you say this, I realize that perhaps I'm not whole, like, dressing up the part as well. Like
You're
not
not
just in a
aligned.
superficial
You
sense.
yeah, you're
It's
not brand
exactly
aligned.
aligned.
And I think that's
Exactly.
what people don't
Exactly.
do. They
Exactly.
they have this ambitious maybe
Yeah.
work ethic that they want to do. But does your visual,
Yes.
because we are
Yes.
telling stories through our visual, your
Yes, we are.
appearance and your image.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
gonna present your brand. So is
Yes.
that living up to who you are on the inside? It's
Yeah.
sometimes it's not, right? And I think it's
No.
so important to do that.
Hmm.
Because and also I feel it's a part of self-respect. It's the way you carry yourself and how you feel about yourself. I think how somebody dresses and how somebody looks, and it doesn't mean that they're dressed in their
Yes.
makeup or in branded clothes. I mean, how do they present themselves? Are they full of
Exactly.
energy and
Dressed in confidence.
yeah, and
This is
confidence?
what came up for me when it's not as if I'm roaming around and totally
No,
shabbily
you're
or
actually
something.
well, we've met, and you were, you have great taste in clothes, and you have, great fashion sense.
Yes, but I'm really laid back as a person. And what I meant here, and as you very rightly pointed out, like that confidence, that aura was not aligned with what my
Mm.
vision was. So, yes, our physiology is what we wear as well on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
outside, and it has to
absolutely.
be aligned with the identity we want for
Yeah,
ourselves, the vision that we have for
yeah. I
ourselves.
can clearly tell when somebody is not in a happy chapter, or they are, and as soon as their life changes, as soon as they make those
Hmm.
decisions about themselves, let me tell you, your style will automatically change.
Yeah.
Automatically. because you feel good about
Yes.
yourself. You're presenting yourself
True.
in this new version.
Mm.
And so you dress differently, you walk differently, you talk differently, your head, it's a very different. I mean, I'm telling you that when I style the clients, and that's when they go through that transformation, they're like walking on the runway. They're on the red carpet, and that's
Mm.
how you should be. Every day should be a runway. You're on the red carpet.
Totally.
Yeah. What is it? What else that you think that you maybe want to improve on or look at to enhance?
Yes, so despite some setbacks, 2023, because it was a really productive year, we
Yeah.
did hit some milestones too. So that has motivated me to I always in November I start setting my goals for the
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah,
So I'm
absolutely.
done. Normally, by December, I'm totally done because I want to go into that transition and the
Yeah.
holiday mode for December. I don't want to.
You're like me, kind of around about October. I kind of start six
Yeah,
months
yeah,
ahead.
kind of it.
A great thing that I heard, I went to this conference, The Rise
Mm,
of the Female Entrepreneur, and where Trini from Trini London said that
mm,
she was off after the interview. We were at at the conference. She goes, "I've got to go now. I've got to meet my investors, and we're going to talk about um or her team. She was going to meet her team, and she said,
mm.
we are now looking at a 3-year plan. And I guess when you're looking
Yeah.
at 50 million making in revenue and in
Mm,
profits, that's how it goes, right? So,
yes.
having a plan is so important. What do you think about having a plan
Mm.
in life?
I am like an obsessive goal setter, Maryum. Like I would set, I always have this vision of 5, 10 years. I
Yeah,
don't call them because that's like the bigger vision that I want to
yeah,
work towards.
mm,
But yes, the roadmap is there, and then it's the yearly plan, the half yearly, quarterly,
yeah, quarter,
uh,
yeah.
the monthly, weekly, and daily.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I
so
think we're
every
all
day,
like
yeah,
that. Yeah, yeah. I think we're all like that.
yeah,
I mean, I think when I was about 13, I started writing my diary, but which is now a journal. And again, I'm a list maker. Like everybody knew,
yeah.
like whenever I used to go to
I know.
Pakistan, I was like big list of things. When ye karna hai. And I was like, ye karna hai. And everybody knew my lists were flying around. Oh, that's Mariam's list or whatever. But having being organized and knowing what you
Mm,
want, I think that's
mm.
again clarity, isn't it? Having
Yeah,
clarity for your life and what you want and
absolutely.
define it on your own terms. Like set the goals. It doesn't
Mm.
mean we all achieve them 100%, but put them in. Like set yourself the goals.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, life is unpredictable. We don't even know about tomorrow, but we should still have a plan
yeah,
because um, we all there's a saying that everybody needs something to look forward to and to
yeah,
live for. So we should have that thing as a
yeah,
motivator and to keep ourselves
yeah.
going.
So if you look back on the year, what are three main highlights that jump out to you that you like, oh wow, I just loved that, or that just made you smile?
At a personal level, yes. So, well, this year was a year of a lot of learning. Although, I love learning. But this year I got to do my ICF level 2 training and I got a scholarship, a full scholarship for that. So
Wow,
that was like
congratulations.
my highlight and something I was really looking forward to since a long time. But because
Yeah,
of the constraint, the budget constraints, etc., I wasn't able to make it.
mm,
But then this really kind lady who's my mentor now, Ruth Kudzi, she offered me the scholarship. So and I'm almost done with the training.
right.
That was a highlight. Plus, I did Positive Intelligence by Shirzad Shamin, which is another great
Just
program.
like
I
to
would.
elaborate on positive intelligence.
Yes, it's surely, Miriam. Basically, positive intelligence. The reason why I personally resonated so deeply with that
Mhm.
is that it basically tells you about the different voices in your head, and we all have those different voices. So
Absolutely.
there are about 9 to 10 voices. One is this real major voice that's called the judge, and then
Yeah.
there are about 8 to 9 different voices which are called the saboteurs. Like they're basically there to sabotage you. While
Yeah.
we were young, we develop these voices as defense mechanisms. But it's
Mm.
like, overgrowing a cast. Like, you as a child you got fractured, but the cast that
Right.
you overgrew it. So now when we're adults, and those voices still continue on repeat mode, they can become negative. It's like putting your hand on the hot stove.
Yeah.
If you do it momentarily, it's like, it protects you, it tells you that it's
Mhm.
hot and it's
Yeah.
saving you. But if you have your hand on it for a longer time, you're going to get burned. So similarly with the voices, Mariam, it's the more you keep listening to them, the more negative thoughts it's going to, and negative emotions it's going to bring about within
Mm.
you.
It's the same, isn't it? When you're looking at pathways and you're looking at
Hmm.
positive pathways, your brain then starts to look for positivity, happiness, and searches, and your brain is triggers that way. But when you
Hmm.
start to go in the direction of sadness or unhappiness or depression,
Yes.
your brain will start to find more reasons to feel that way.
So basically, it's also about being more in the right brain, sorry, the left brain as opposed to the right brain.
Hmm.
I might have them wrong because, I'm left-handed and I often get this wrong. But like, there's a creative brain and there's a survival brain, just to simplify it.
Yeah.
So basically, positive intelligence has some exercises included in that, which it teaches you
Yeah.
to strengthen the creative brain and weaken the survival brain, because
Right.
that's what causes all these, going into, like, as you mentioned, into the
Yeah.
loop of negative thinking. Yes.
And Khatija, what do you have for 2024? What do you plan? What are you looking forward to?
Yes, so I'm really excited for 2024.
Yeah.
I think more excited than I've ever been before for coming year, because I've set a couple of really big goals. One is like introducing ICF credentialed coach training to Pakistan,
Nice.
and that would be, yes, so something which more people here can afford, because there's been a demand for ICF coach training, but it's, currently people who are offering on outside of Pakistan, and it's really expensive. So
Yeah.
just so I wanted to cater more to lower income economies as well,
Mm.
and thanks to the great team that we have, with Ruth as my mentor, Prajesh's support, and a couple of other coaches we have. We're looking ahead to this year,
Yeah.
and planning to launch in May.
Oh, fantastic. That's great.
So, Mariam, how has it been for you? Like, what is it that you're most excited about in 2024?
So 2023 was a year of learning for me as well. I learned
Mm,
a lot. And I think that my NLP started the journey
mm,
off during Ramadan. And then I've done a lot of video and creative courses that are really going to help my
mm,
camera and my confidence and help my students also. This year also has been quite deeply saddening because of what's been happening in the Middle
mm.
East. And I felt
Yeah.
I kind of lost myself for a moment,
Mm,
and it really did affect me
mm,
personally. And I felt
mm,
that I just I couldn't concentrate on anything. But it's make me equally grateful about all the things that we have in life, the people that we have, the work that we do, and it gives you another appreciation of life, an
mm,
appreciation of what you do, who you
mm,
are, and the fact that you can be who you want. And we have so many of these resources, facilities, um
mm.
and we are truly blessed. I think that's one
Yes.
takeaway that I think that I would like for myself and everyone uh, to also have about their life, is that when you see scenes from the Middle East and you see the war, you see death and destruction, it is a moment where you should really appreciate your life, the fact that what you do, and you have a roof over your head, you have food, and you should be so blessed and grateful every single day. There is nothing to complain about when you see that destruction. You have
mm,
nothing to complain about. We're so privileged and honored to live every day. Um, One thing that I would say is that I did turn 50 this year.
mm,
And I didn't have a big celebration because whenever I come to these poignant times in life where I'm 40 or I'm 50, those years, I'm still kind of growing into that year and that realization. And then the next year comes along and I'm fine. The 41s, the 51s, they're gonna be fine. But it was, it's a
mm,
big milestone. And Alhamdulillah that I'm privileged to be alive and to witness 50 because not many people get a chance to. So I'm privileged. I have health and I have family. I have great friends. So Alhamdulillah, I think I just count my blessings, and you should count your blessings every single day. And I think that's what I've learned, that no matter what, my faith is stronger. My belief is stronger. I'm stronger in my own self. And I think that's what's changed for me this year personally. And I'm just going to
mm,
take that same strength into next year and double
mm,
it, and give it to my clients and help my students. And I'm going to really be more creative. And I think it's just about being bigger and better every year for me. I just don't want to be in that same situation. I always want to learn. I want to grow. I want to change. Some people fear change. I took change and took it into a positive. I wanted it to be, not that I fear what will happen, but the unknown was exciting to me because I kind of leveled up. I know that I'm going to learn something. I'm going to develop myself, my personal skills. So it always excites me when there's change. I absolutely love change. If I don't change and within a year, I don't like it. I have to change because life is always evolving. You have to
mm,
grow, you have to evolve, you have to develop. I
mm,
have to
mm.
change and I want to. I'm going to keep up with the times. I'm really enjoying AI. I'm going to try and incorporate AI into my courses, into my work, really keep up with the times because otherwise you get left behind. That's what my father said. Because Bete, you
Yes.
gotta keep up with the times, otherwise you'll get left behind. And as a business owner, as a coach, we have to also develop our business and our minds.
Mm. What a beautiful way to end the year with gratitude, Maryam.
Yeah,
And yes, I think our conversation wouldn't be complete had without mentioning what's happening in the Middle East, and
yeah,
it does give us so much to be grateful for.
yeah,
That our life is one of our choosing. It's not something that we have no choice over.
yeah.
Um, so, and like, what have we done to deserve the privilege?
Mm, yeah.
So surely that, and also I think we need to do another session in the next year where you're going to be sharing the uh, how you got frozen in time and how you maintain the youthful looks. So I think we need another session on that,
Well,
Maryam.
I'm doing a 30-day of transformation and how to reinvent yourselves because I think that's
Mm,
just the most important, that when your role changes, your identity changes, when you change
mm,
chapters in life, you also take on this new role. But Alhamdulillah, I have no fillers, no Botox, no nothing. It's just the skill of a great makeup artist, a great stylist, and just knowing who you are. And by knowing thyself, I say know thy style. So
mm,
Socrates said, know thyself. I say know thy style because you have to know who you are, you know your style, and then love
mm,
your style. But I think you really should love who you are. And when you love who you are, I think that just automatically radiates. Of course, the
mm,
great makeup skills help, but
mm.
I think it's the inner glow, the inner glow
Of
that
course. Yeah.
radiates, and just the
Mm,
love of life. I think a love of life,
mm,
the love of people in it, that give me energy, and I just having not to waste any day, because when you go through divorce or death or
mm,
kind of depression or any of those things which I
mm,
have gone through, it
mm.
makes you realize that you don't want to waste life, not to waste your day,
Yes.
not to kind of value your life and yourself,
Mm,
and you don't take anything for granted anytime. And I think that's what it is. Don't take your life for granted. So I look forward to seeing Khadija and Prajesh next year. We're going to be doing goal setting, so watch out for that episode. Take care, Khadija. Lots of love.
Thank you. Bye.